Okay, now we are recording. Let's see. I dinged you.
You did?
I heard your notification go off as I was tweeting.
Yep, that was you.
I wonder, do I look laggy to you?
Yeah,
laggy.
Yeah, I'm hearing my voice echoing back too, but no, you don't seem laggy.
Okay. Well, how have you been? It's been a while since we've talked.
You know, I'm in the middle of parent conferences this week. That's always interesting. And you know, Thanksgiving. It's just startling that it's December already. I just can't believe how fast things are moving along.
Yeah.
Our trimester ends
it's going
this week,
really fast.
so there's a lot of work to be done, grading and all that stuff, and just been nutso.
See, you guys end before Christmas, right?
What, the trimester? Our first trimester is over Friday.
Yeah.
December 4th.
Huh.
And we started school on September 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, it's about a 14-week
I think that's when
trimester.
we started.
Ooh.
Ours are
When's your
18
last day of
weeks.
school usually?
Well, this year it's a Friday, or the last day in May.
Yeah. June. How about
like
June
the 24th or something? No, we don't go that long.
And that's that. How about you?
I have been very, very busy. People are asking I'm getting a lot of people asking to create or how to create different types of triggers. So today I was making, for an elementary class, ways to make 10 with numbers. So when you put the numbers correctly, that makes 10, and you scan it, you'll get congratulations, you're correct. Or if you scan it and it's wrong, you'll say, sorry, try again. So I've been working on that today. It was fun. I like doing elementary stuff because I can make it cute.
For that?
I am using Blipbar for that because it's easier to test to make sure it works. But yeah, I use Blipper for quite a bit of things. Hi, Peggy.
Hi,
welcome to the party.
Thanksgiving. Belated.
So let's see, I did that, and I've done augmented flashcards or word wall, and I sent that to Jane to help her maybe build hers. And then I've made a science one using the different triggers from Aug that and not Color Alive, Quiver and Cromville. I'll have something to do with space or planets. So I made a unit using all of those triggers.
I know what I did. That was fun. And that sounds really kind of cool, too, is I augmented my algebra students' calculators. So
that would be fun.
I have to do as part of, oh, God, I don't know. How do I say this? The district is drinking the Marzano Kool-Aid, like by the gallon full. So we're into these, you know, SLOs and I observe and all that stuff. I'm sure that's some common terms for some people. Yeah.
I had to do that in college.
I'm sorry, Peggy. I augmented their scientific calculators, physical calculators themselves. And so one of the modules that I had to do with my algebra class was on scientific notation. So lots of interesting video and worksheets and other things happen when they scan the face of their calculators. Most of it right now pointed towards the content area of really large and really small numbers. So
I agree, Peggy. That would make it highly motivating. I might be playing, though, scanning everything.
Well, there's only 3 or 4 things right now. You know, I didn't augment all of the buttons on it, for crying out loud, but there's an EXP button on it that they need to know how to use, and as part of the standards for scientific notations, technology is woven into the standards. So why not? So.
That would be great if you put video on demonstrating how to use the different components, and the kids can click on it and get that's an awesome idea. Exactly. You're amazing.
They do that. There's also this great video that's been around for a long time, made by IBM in the 70s. And there's this man picnicking on a blanket in a park in Chicago, and they zoom in on his hand, and then they zoom out by adding exponentially the number 10 to each one of the scientific notations till they get, I think you're by 1.0 times 10 to the 100th power, puts you out in the realms of the universe that you can't even possibly imagine. Then they come back in and they go into his hand and they do negative exponentation. They can watch that video by scanning their Casio scientific calculators too.
We do have a question from Barb. She wanted to know if our focus for our lab is augmented reality. It can be at elementary level. We talk about it at all spectrums. It's for anything in education. And I was telling Doug when we started that today, I was working on a math thing for elementary, ways to find 10. And what I did is I have the numbers on cards, and I will be blogging about it. I'm just now building it. And when you put the numbers together and you scan the numbers, then if it's correct, like if they put a 9 and the 1 together, it's going to say, congratulations, you're correct. And then if they did like an 8 and a 1 and they scanned it, then it'll say, sorry, try again. So yes, definitely great use for elementary. And then over here at the top, if you scroll up, I put some links to different activities that I've been working on. I have a writing prompt, one for the first winter, using a 360-degree trigger from Augmented. I have a science one using Quiver. I want to call it Collar. Quiver. Cromwell, Blipar, and Augmented. I used all their planets or solar system triggers, and I put them together and kind of made a unit of how to use those. So those links are there. One of my favorite things, I'm doing a STEM class, and I don't know if you saw it, Doug, but I made a card that lights up using LED lights, and it's augmented. For an example, and then the augmented part that I did was a how-to video to make the card.
Oh.
So when the kids scan it, it's a how-to video how to make the card, but they're going to augment their own, and they're going to add, my vision is a message for the person they're giving it to, so when they scan it, the message will play, either an audio message or a video message.
Cool.
So I've been really busy. I mean, it's like the last couple of weeks has been nonstop. What can I do with AR in the classroom? You saw,
of course, that our federal government has changed the acronym of STEM finally to STEAM now. STEAM is
yes.
The big deal. And I've been thinking, and I'm open for ideas here. I submitted a proposal to my, I wouldn't say my school district, to my school. I want to do some modules with drones. And I actually purchased one a couple of weeks ago because one of the drone companies calls themselves AR Drone. And some stuff came up in a Google search that I did, and I thought I was looking at AR, augmented reality drones. Said, what's this all about? And it turns out that the AR part of it is actually seeing a 3-dimensional view of the flight path of a drone across a map or something like that. It's about as far as it got. But anyway, I went and bought a drone last week, a cheap little one, and been flying it around, and I know the kids would just go bananas over this. But I'm fit.
Okay, so how much did you spend on it? If I can ask?
$55. And the proposal that I've put together was for 4 more of those, plus another drone that's kind of a little bit more serious machine for about $400. And they're all tied to standards as far as STEM goes. And actually the writing standards are, this is a great persuasive writing topic, by the way, for obvious reasons. And we'll do some of that. And yes, Peggy, drones can definitely get you in quite a bit of trouble. But I have an aviation background somewhere in my life, and I liked. I had fun flying this little thing around, so it fits right in the palm of your hand. And we'll see. I don't know. They may turn it down. They may not think it's such a great idea. There's some school districts that don't latch on to that stuff, so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I'm looking at getting little tiny robots. They're the size of a golf ball that you can program. And I was thinking of ways I can augment their path, because you have to draw out their path. So I'm not for sure how we're going to do it yet. I haven't gotten the robots yet.
You have the same questions I do, figuring out how to integrate these two platforms together. It's great STEM stuff, and it's our code ready and all that stuff as well. So.
Yes, and I'm preparing for that for next week. I got my poster. Yeah, I do our code every year, or since they started it. So I got my posters up, and I'm looking at BitsBots to do after we do the part of the hour of code to continue. And hopefully that'll end, and then Christmas will be here and we'll be done.
I had a few 8th graders who showed up to last year. I said, yeah, doing our little circles, what do you want to be when you grow up kind of stuff. Oh, we want to be computer programmers. Oh, I said, oh, great. I know a little thing or two about that. Let's do that. So we did a whole trimester of coding from the hour of code to a kind of a custom curriculum that I put together. And not one of them would tell you that they want to be a computer programmer anymore. As soon as they learned how much precision they couldn't deal with the precision of having to write code. You can't make any mistakes, so. Yeah. Right.
You can't have any typos, and you have the slashes in the right spot. And I teach basic coding because it's a computer or apps class, and I try to touch everything or, give them introduction to almost everything. So we do very, very, very basic coding.
You're not saying there's a language called BASIC. That's not what you're talking about, right? Okay.
No. That it's actually, it looks like it's we're going to do the hour code, so it's the block part, but then the BitsBox does, it looks like AppleScript with the coding. So they're going to learn some of that. And they sent me a huge poster with all their little things that they could code into their thing, their apps. You get to build apps using that program. So it's the first time I'm using this one, so we'll see. I tried several like CodeMonkey, Hopscotch, but I don't know. I didn't like them as much because they really didn't write the script, and I want the kids to type it out.
Yep. Cool.
I will get the link, Peggy, for that. Hang on just a second. Because they have projects that kids could do. They have apps that kids can make. They sent me a little starter box or starter kit, which looks really, interesting. Okay, I'm going to get back to Vlad. Okay, so Barb goes, do you happen to know Professor Tony Dyson? No, I do not. Lots of questions. You guys just need to come join us and verbally ask your questions. I think I can pin it. Maybe I can't. I don't want to hit that button. Okay, Peggy goes, do you know the same error code activity? Do I do the same error? My 8th graders, I don't start them off on the same because I have 7th grade and 8th grade. I have my 7th grade do the basic ones, and then my 8th graders, because they did the ones that they did last year, the basic ones, they do the new ones. I think this year it's Star Wars. Last year it was Frozen, so they did the Frozen stuff, and then that's when I switched over. Once we've done the error code, then one class did Code Monkey and one class did Hopscotch. But we didn't augment any of that. We should have. That would have been fun. And somebody popped in and left.
They were 10, and they wanted to tweet about their cats.
Okay. So, and if you have questions on the hour code or teaching coding, you can also ask me. I've been doing it for quite a while. I should have went into computer science. I could be dangerous. I can write some code that would be dangerous. Okay, so back to augmented reality. Let's see. I was going to, and I put links of stuff there. So if you're new to our little hangout, we do have a link, and I posted it to our group. And in the group, that's where we share our augmented lessons. That's also where I post the schedule for the month, reminding people when we have a hangout.
Uh-oh.
My screen is locking up. Am I frozen?
Looks like we've lost Katie. You have turned to ice. She'll come back in. Perhaps only in a virtual sense. I'm not sure what a co-host is. I just come and grab his chair like you should. Oh, I don't think I am. I don't see any extra powers around me. No, don't think so. She should be able to pop back in, though. Well, let's pretend I am. Let's see. I don't know what else I could do. There's just, let's see. Mitzi has just joined us. Hello, Mitzi. Can you hear me? And it's just you and me and Mitzi right now. And we'll see if Mitzi cares to join us and respond. Always wanted to know what that name was short for, Mitzi. So Peggy, tell me about your geography. What's going on where you're living in these days? Realize we've resorted to talking about the weather.
My back?
Quite possibly.
My Chromebook crashed. Did you know that they're not going to do Chromebooks anymore?
Who? Google?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. Tell me what you know.
And they're going to discontinue offering Chromebooks. I think they're going... I forget what it said. I think they'll support it for so long, and then it's done. They're not going to make the operating system anymore.
Are they going to market some other device?
They are doing it as it's not. It looks like one of those Amazon Fire Sticks, but it's you can load like for signage. If you had a flat screen TV, you could load whatever information and it'll play it, or simple little PowerPoints or something like that, and it'll run through them. Or you can. It's not like a computer, but it's a I forget what it's called.
Casting device. It'll let you cast
yeah,
the device.
It's a casting.
It's interesting because our high school, 2 years ago, we had a big dilemma in our district whether we were going to go Windows-based, whether we were going to buy MacBooks, whether we were going to go iPads. And the high school said, "Yep, the heck with all you guys." They went out and bought Chromebooks. The Chromebooks are all falling apart. They're not very durable machines. And now they have to reinvent that whole wheel again if what you're saying is true. So,
yeah. And after I read that, my Chromebook, because I think it needs an update or something, it wants to crash. Or it gets, I don't know, it just locks up. It's kind of weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I will post that article that I read.
And Peggy's got an address that refutes that. That's interesting. Oh, look at that. Who knows?
I forgot where I read that. It's going to be phased out. Well, not be phased out. What is going on? I don't know. I'll have to find the article again.
The big complaint I'm hearing is that Chromebooks are not app-rich environments yet. People who've come off of iPads or MacBooks.
Which is sad if they do phase them out. All the schools that purchase them, they're going to be SOL eventually. I mean, I think they're going to support it for some time, and then
I think reasonable.
I don't know. I have to find the article I saw, and it was from it wasn't Wired, but it was one of those that I read.
I think at the most, the Chromebook's shelf life in a high school is probably 3 years. Maybe a fourth if you can. I don't know. They don't seem to be durable, and the software so quickly outpaces the hardware. It seems that's always been the case. Software industry has always dictated what the hardware was anyway. So we'll see what happens. Interesting.
Well, Peggy's found a couple saying that they're not going away, so we'll see how this works or what they do with it. Okay, back to augmented reality. We get off topic. Peggy, have you had anybody asking for more information on how to create anything since the show, was it a week ago, that I did for you, or anybody had any questions that you know of? She smiles. I actually got to talk to her, voice to voice, instead of through this chat. Not since the show. Okay. Well, I'm glad you liked it. We'll have to tweet it out so people that missed it can go watch it. But on there, I kind of gave some demonstration, or I didn't demonstrate, but I gave some triggers so that people could go and try on their own. What I kind of normally do when I do like online ed camps. Yes, and there's LiveBinder with the resources, with the links that Peggy made. It's really good chunk of information for augmented reality. So we need to definitely post that in here so people can go and find it. And I bet Peggy beats me to it. She's like fast on the draw, finding things.
Where's Adam? Where's Adam?
I don't know. He's been really, really busy. I haven't even chatted with him for a while.
I had to port all 44 presidents from Layer to Blipper. And it was an ugly, tedious manual task.
I bet that would be. Why did you pull it?
The presidential pictures are their presidential portraits, but they're in this, I don't know, this banner kind of card, and they're each 40 different individual cards. And the cards are so similar that they're too similar for the scanners to handle them properly. So I had to actually make my targets a zoom in of their facial features instead of using the whole little portrait. And so I had to recreate all the triggers again. And I figured I'd try it in Blipper because I could. So I don't know. It's a few hours worth of extra work, and I'll see how it works. I'm about halfway through the port right now, but and then I think somebody somewhere in the world augmented the heck out of Thomas Jefferson's portrait, because all kinds of weird things happen when you scan him with Layer, so which is quite possible. So,
well, the one thing I like about Blipper is you have to enter a code to make it work, so that you don't get that weird stuff coming if somebody, which is good. But if you have lots of projects with lots of codes, then you have to teach people how to change out the code. And
we'll see.
I don't know. Or you can just be smart and just use one code and put it all together. Which maybe I should have done that.
44 pictures. I have them all in one campaign. I guess they're all going to have their own codes, though, right?
No, you can do a campaign code. You can do individual codes, or you can do a campaign code, and or a version code too. There's 3 codes, and I just give out the campaign code because I can add other things to it. So, like my word wall, all of those are one campaign, and then the space is all one campaign, and then what else did I do? Oh, the make 10's all one campaign. And I'm also doing book talks now, too. So all those are one campaign. So I've got all these campaigns going. But your word wall
wasn't always in Blipper, was it?
Yeah. No, I started it off in Dockery. And I started pulling it over to Blipper. So it's a slow process. So I understand pulling it from Layer to Blipper and redoing things.
Tedium. That's all it is.
Yeah. But once you get going, though, you can get rhythm and just get it done. But oh, Peggy wants. I mentioned book talks. What we're doing is for our first one that we did, we have a poster of the book Wonder, and I augmented the poster. So when you scan it, it has a book trailer that is on the website. So when you scan it, you will get a choice of the book trailer, a choice of author information, and then information about the book. So you have different. It's multi interactive. Our plan is, because this was the first one to get people interested in creating these, is kids are going to design the cover of a book that they've read them to promote the book, and they're going to create like an interview or something to go with it. So when you scan it, you're going to get the kid, a student, talking about the book to promote it, or creating a book trailer for it. So when you scan it, you get the book trailer. So we have a couple ideas, and as soon as we get them going, I will share them more. We just did our first one, like I said, to get people interested in, hey, how many things can we augment in the library? So I told the librarian we're going to use one campaign, so it's one code. So anything that's in the library, and we posted the information of how to use the app next to the poster with the code. So anything that is augmented will have maybe the blip bar icon next to it, and then the kids will have the one code that they can scan around in the library. I figured that was smart.
I wish they called it something else besides a blip. Because for me, a blip is a boo-boo. It's an error. So asking people to go check this blip out over here just always seems a bit left-handed to me. Blips.
But yeah, they have a blip and a blip builder. And I was like, okay. It's not a blip. Well, right now this is a blab, but to
blips.
Scan this. To scan blip bar stuff, it's called a blip. It's and I think with Erasmus auras, with Daiquiri, I don't remember what they called theirs. Is it 4D? No.
Daiquiris were chapters.
That's right. And then Layar was campaigns. So everybody has their own name for the same thing.
Yeah, and some are better than others, obviously. Blip. You see that blip on your screen? It's like, what?
Yeah, I am not calling it a blip for the kids. I'm just telling them it's a target. Scan it.
There's some blip.
Thank you.
It's like, what's a blipper? How do you answer that question?
Do I have a favorite tool? Do you have a favorite tool, Doug, for AR?
I have 3, and it really depends on what I'm trying to do with them. They do different things, and they're better at some things than others. And depending on what I want to use, I'll use Blipper, or I'll use Daiquiri, or I'll use Layer right now. And it really depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. It's amazing how different they are. Daiquiri and Blipper are a lot more in common than Layer does. Based on what my augmentations are, that's what I decide I'm going to use. If I need to use 3D objects or something like that, well, right now I'm kind of out of the water, but Layer, I think, is the best at handling 3D objects that are interactive. If you have a spinning globe that's 3-dimensional and you want to click on it and have something happen, I don't think there's any tool out there right now that can do that except for Layer, for instance. If I want to have several different things happen from one trigger, then something like Daiquiri or even Blipper would be a great candidate for that because I don't have to change the trigger, but I can add lots of sequential interactions with them. And it's amazing. I'm just hoping to death that Blipper comes out with 3D objects right now. But
I've talked with them and I've asked. They are going to do 3D objects. It is slotted for early 2016 to be released. We'll see how it works. I don't know. Currently, you can't, but when I talked with them, they said that's one of the things that they're working on to get out there. I do know that you can send 3D objects to Aug that, and I think with their new platform that they're getting ready to release, you can make it interactive. But again, I haven't seen the new platform. I've seen the picture for the new platform. I can't, without having it to play with, I can't really tell you a whole lot about it yet. But I know that they've been working on getting it all ready to release. So as soon as it gets released, I will definitely let you guys know how it works.
To see that. And oddly enough, Daiquiri will let you use what they call 4D objects, but they do nothing.
Yeah, but you have to build,
at all. They don't do anything except occasionally make an appearance on one of your chapters. So it's like, what's up?
Yeah. And you have to have the lighting just right on there, so you have to
you can't
manually put it the way you want it.
And they don't handle materials on their 3D objects either. So,
and if you want, because I did Olaf, for mine, and we had to put it in Unity.
Yep. He's the caveman, right?
The caveman?
Is that Olaf the caveman you're talking about?
No, the snowman.
Oh, okay. There's a caveman you can get working with Unity as well.
Well, we put Olaf in Unity, and they put a script so that you can shrink it and grow it and spin him around, and then they put the texture on him. But I had to have their help because to make it work on their platform, I couldn't get it to go. So the Daiquiri helped me out, and we got Olaf. So he's still active and live, and I have that. That's one of the experiences I have kids scan is Olaf.
Daiquiri seems to have fallen off the map. They had this big release coming, and they started to make a public, comments about it. And nothing happened.
And then they just kind of
it disappeared again. So
I'm not for sure what's going on with Daiquiri. I know that you still can't make an account. I know they were working on a new platform as well. And they're not really talking about it, so I can't. I've asked, and I just get, it's coming soon. Okay.
I found somebody posted to our community the other day. I'm sure you know his name. I don't have it in front of me, but he made a posting that I was confused about because it didn't have anything to do with AR.
Did I delete it?
No. And he said, I'm a science teacher and I do these kinds of things also. But I wasn't trying to be rude. I just didn't understand if I was missing something from his post or not. And he's one of our community members. I don't have his name in front of me, but he was talking about he's a member of the Daiquiri
community. I'm also a member of the Daiquiri community. I probably missed that one then.
Yeah. Well, I commented on it. And I don't know. You saw it, Peggy. I hope I didn't come off sounding like uppity or anything. I just was wondering what I missed. And it had to do with 4D elements, even though it wasn't the Daiquiri 4D element disaster. I never got that to work in my school. It won't get past the light speed filters. So
I haven't tried since I guess Lightspeed redid. I gave the blocks, I didn't get them back, to our science teacher. But she hasn't said anything that they weren't working, so I don't know.
Did you make your blocks?
I have the wood ones.
I made mine. I copied them and cut them out and glued them together.
Well, I have that too, but I have the first set of wood ones that they sent to me. I have a class set, or 6 sets, 5 or 6 sets. So,
boy, we're strange.
We're strange.
It's like, who else is talking about this stuff tonight? Where else on the planet? Oh my God.
We talk about blocks and blips and blabs. Oh, we're unique. You're very correct. I am very unique, and Doug, I would have to say, is unique too, and whoever follows us is definitely unique. Oh.
Can't make this up.
No. What else have you worked on, Doug, other than your presidents?
The presidents, the calculator I did recently. Lots of, for me right now, if I want to do something, I'm so accustomed to just making a trigger. It takes no time to make a trigger for something. The one thing that I used to use a lot was some JavaScript tools. We just all upgraded our MacBooks to El Capitano. That has blown so many applications out of the water that haven't caught up to that. So
don't do it?
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. Just
well, mine keeps popping up at me and say, do you want to upgrade?
Yeah. So I was able to download some of the development kits for developing for phones, and I'll use those as augmentations and triggers. so that a kid can scan a piece of graph paper with a word that I wrote on it in a marker, and an interaction will come up that'll take them to a piece of JavaScript that fits right on their phone or on their iPads, the way that library was meant to. I'm not sure what I get by doing that, except that it's fun for me to do, and it's easy for me to do it that way. And it gets me around the fact that Layer took away the HTML objects that we used to be able to use.
Yes.
So I can kind of circumnavigate that little restraint now by using these scripted pages that are just living out on my server. The other thing I'm thinking we're trying to do is get my tech people to purchase a domain for my work. I have my own web server and I host a lot of stuff, but it's just it's an IP address. And I don't want to share the IP address. I'd rather share the domain behind a proxy somewhere so that I get some kind of protection. I can't wait to let you guys go on the website, but I'm loath to do that because anyone can use it. It's public. But I don't want to do that until I get the domain set up on it. And then you can actually see, I've posted a lot of video and a lot of content that I've done with my classes for this. It's all hung off the website right now. And it's a great way for people to see what we're doing and things like that. So
I'm with Peggy. I can't wait to see it. And it's a really good point, but I wouldn't want to give out an IP address that people connect to.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that yet. And domains are so cheap, but I just have to talk somebody into managing it because I don't have the time to do that.
See, I manage my own domain for both my blog. I guess it's two domains, but it's the same account. So I have one for my blog and one for my website. And I don't know. I guess if I ever quit paying, they will take it away from me. I don't know why anybody would want Kitty and Wilson or Diary of a Techie Chick, but but it's pennies to own those. So yeah, I'd rather do that than have somebody connecting to an IP address.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. I love it when you demonstrate some of your projects with your iPad in these labs.
You can't. Oh, maybe there's something Peggy does.
I can't because I'm on a Chromebook. I have to be on a Windows computer to do it. So I asked Santa for Christmas the new Surface Pro. We'll see if Santa's nice to me.
I have a 6th grader that still believes in Santa.
My 17-year-old senior wrote a letter to Santa, and I mailed them. And when you mail them in the state of Kansas, they have somebody out in the Topeka post office, wherever that part is, answering them. It's canned letters, but you get something back. So I didn't read it. I just put a stamp on it, and he sealed the envelope, and apparently he wrote it to me. I'm like, oh, okay. That wasn't what we're supposed to do. But it's his last letter to Santa. I'm going to be so sad. Yes. Oh, hi, Kansan. Topeka's so fun. I have my brother lives there. We need to move closer to that area. But I'm by Wichita. Most people know where Wichita is. So if I say I'm near Wichita, they kind of get an idea where I'm at. If you're a Kansan.
Is Glenn Campbell from Wichita?
I would not know. I don't live in Wichita.
Oh. Hey, look, there's Daphne's in Topeka also, okay.
Yes. That's why I said that. I said hi to Kansan. The Blab Town Hall Sunday said that they were close to having a tool for screen sharing added to Blab. And I'm going to be really confused when they actually do that, because you know how small these squares are? That would, yeah. I mean, you would have to blow whatever it is up really big to actually see anything. That's why they're taking their time. I can see why.
Opening a new window, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Well, I didn't get to answer the question of my favorite AR tools. And I've always said that these tools are like a pair of shoes. You're going to use the one that fits your need at the time. So my absolute favorite one has to be, if not necessarily to build, but to have all the 360s, is Augmented. With their hundreds of 360s, I can use those for writing prompts, comparison and stuff. So I use those quite a bit in my classroom. I have a bulletin board, which I finally got smart after doing augmented reality for 4 years. Got a bulletin board, and I posted the 360s I wanted the kids, and we were doing habitats, environments. So I posted like 30 habitats on the board. This way they weren't around in my room. Kids weren't walking off with them. They accidentally stuck it in their trapper. So I have them all on the bulletin board, and I gave them instructions, when they know by now how to use it. So we used it that way. Now it was very handy. And I put on a hook next to the bulletin board 3D animals, and they had to decide which environment belongs to which animals after they did some research. And then they had to do a presentation and stuff on habitats and animals. What's a trapper? You're old enough to know what a trapper is.
You mean someone who traps?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was some Tanzanian term I was not familiar with.
No, it's a trapper, like a notebook, like, from the 80s. Trappers? Trapper
Never.
keeper?
Never.
Oh. Maybe it's a Midwest thing.
Could be. No, never heard of it.
It's turning out to be a vocabulary lesson. Oh, yes, Peggy. Between blips and auras.
I'm sure I could let you, I could expose you to some New England things that would just make you scratch your head. Having been born in the Midwest and lived in New York for 25 years and now New England for 10, they have some very interesting regional vocabularies here.
I get a kick out of when I talk to people in the UK or in Australia and some of their vocabulary. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, a lamp. What do you mean by a lamp? Like a regular lamp? No, the ones you carry. It's a flashlight.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, totally confused of what, yeah.
Or they'll move accents around in common English words like adversary or
yes,
controversy or things like that. I love that. My brother-in-law lives in England. He's always dropping these. Did you just say adversary? And he said, yes, I did. I said, okay.
Well, when in Rome, right? Do as the Romans. Yes, it's an enclosed 3-ring binder. It's called a trapper keeper. They invented it in the 80s. I had one when I was in middle school. I'm old, but not, that old. But they still have them. Learn, like, yes. And I can never pronounce that name, but the Anne's webinars are really good. I did listen to a couple, but yeah, it's Australian. I get a kick out of webinars, especially from different countries, and just listening to people. And then I want to figure out how to augment some of their content that they're talking about.
By the way, I bet you touched on this last time we were together, and I know I meant to mention it, but just for anybody who's listening, you were talking about early 2016 for Blipper and 3D Objects. Mm-hmm. They are definitely in the process of hybridizing their two platforms, and they're supposed to be getting ready to deliver a new AR platform, which I suspect will be cherry picking from the Layer version and the Blipper Builder version.
Yeah.
I asked if they were going to keep their business model intact, whereby you had to pay $4,000 to be exposed to some of the higher end development tools, and they said probably so, which I think is just a really poor business model and kind of short-sighted on their part. But we're going to see a whole new platform come out from that acquisition between Blipper and Layer, and that'll be interesting. They have an opportunity to dominate the market as long as Daiquiri is kind of like hiding under the covers. Erasma has just
fallen off the
map, and so they're in a position to make a strong presence. They also could really muck it up too. We'll see what happens, though.
Yes, Peggy, I have thought of inviting them. They do belong to our community, and two of the educational people from Blipbar belong to our community. They do follow what I post, especially when I tag them. So they know some of the things that I'm working on. They do know about our Twitter chats and stuff and our Hangout. So I'm waiting just a little bit because I kind of wanted to see how some things are going to play out in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping it's the next couple of weeks because there's a lot of talks with a lot of things going on that I cannot talk about because I really don't know the details.
It's very mysterious, Miss Wilson.
I'm sorry. I just don't know how to say it without saying that. Yeah, I don't know the information. I don't know all the details, but there's lots of things I think in the works.
You know what you don't know.
I know things I shouldn't know. But yeah, and like I said, I've talked with them, and I'm going to talk with them again, and then that's when I will invite them. I want to put them on the spot. I want them to talk and tell us what's going on. They're going to watch this and go, yeah, she's going to be mean to us.
They are actively seeking they're publishing lots of employment opportunities, most of them in New York or Amsterdam, unfortunately, right now. But
it's more on, it's not for the education, it's for the marketing and the building and the platform part. I'm interested in see what they're going to do with their education department, and if they're going to persuade people to come join them, and see if they persuade me.
Well, and more importantly, how they go about creating that persuasion. That's going to be the thing.
Okay, well, we've got this Nate. I'm not for sure if Nate knows that this is for teachers, and hopefully you're a teacher. But he says puppy in his little thing, so we'll see what this. Hi.
I'm not a teacher.
You're a teacher?
No, I'm not a teacher.
Oh, not a teacher. Sorry, you cut out on me. So what do you do, Nate?
I have an associate's degree in programming and a CDL license for driving.
So you're a man with many talents.
Yes.
So why did you wanted to join us today?
Because you were talking about technology and how it can pertain to the future generations.
Okay. Do you know anything about augmented reality?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you made any augmented reality?
No, have I created one? No. Have I used one? No. But I've watched enough, and I know how it should be kind of used.
Well, how would you like to use it if you could create something?
I would use it for teaching in a game environment.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah.
What kind of a game?
Math, chemistry. Yeah, math, chemistry. Definitely works in the physical world. So those two, I would definitely put those forward.
Awesome. Well, do you have any questions for us?
I'm a little too drunk, so.
Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye, Nate. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, I gave you really what I want.
I was wondering that. Oh, I drink water too. Oh, life. Right. Anybody have any questions before we say goodnight?
Yeah, can I take a shower?
He was on topic, which was kind of interesting. Do you have anything to add, Doug?
He had an interesting Twitter handle.
Let's do.
He did. I was looking at the pup. Go away. Neat. What's his Twitter handle? Oh, the 3 E S3. I think it's supposed to be an E.
The 3 is supposed to be an A.
An A? Satan? Okay. I know this.
Said Smirnoff, maybe it said.
Hi, Daniela.
Here's her 5 cats in 10 years.
Oh, it's Nate. It's Nate backwards.
Okay. Thanks for that, Nate.
Yeah, sorry, Nate, you're not talking. We lost Daniela.
No, she still has 5 cats, and she's still 10, and she's looking for a golden segue. So,
well, I wanted to talk to her about augmented reality.
well.
But oh well. Thank you, everyone. If you have questions, make sure that you connect with us and ask us questions. We would love to help you out. Remember, we are talking about augmented reality in education. So feel free to reach out to us. Join the group. Peggy says it was fun. We learned lots of new words. Okay. Never mind. I won't go there. So our next week is a Twitter chat on Thursday. And then we have a blab the following week. And then I think no, we don't have Twitter chat. I think it's Christmas. Oh, no. The schedule is in the group. Yes. We only have one Twitter chat this month due to the Christmas holiday. I will be busy, so I won't be able to do anything on the 4th Thursday. So we have next week is our Twitter chat Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Our next blab is on the 6th 15th, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and then we take a break for Christmas, and we'll be back in January. Yay! And I will be traveling some, so we'll see how my schedule goes. I may be at an airport for one of, I think it's a Twitter chat, so I think they'll be okay. Okay.
Right. I might be at an airport too. I can't remember. 28th, I'm leaving. Interesting.
Yeah, January is kind of busy for me, but we will make it work. And so look in the community, and I will post the January schedule. So thank you, and I will talk to everyone later.
Arrivederci.